what's the matter?
Hi.
Hi!
Guess who's here this time?
Hi, everybody.
You're still known as Phoenix on my channel, but I'm pretty sure that anyone who's followed us to Fire Sphere knows differently by now.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least it's just a cute nickname. It's nicer than some nicknames. At least it's a little bit unique. But we decided we wanted to go to the park today. We actually come to this park a lot. It's kind of like our little safe space away from home.
It's a park I grew up in.
Yeah.
I've been here so many times growing up. From when I was little to now.
Yeah.
You just gave me a reason to come back here because I haven't been back here, like, since...
Well, because there's not really that much in the way of, like, playscapes and stuff, it's kind of quiet, so you can come at almost any time of day and not be bothered by a ton of people.
You appreciate this stuff. I had a lot of friends that didn't appreciate it, so we just never came to this one.
All you have to do with me is be like, there's trees, and I'm like, sold. But yeah, we decided that we wanted to get out of the house for a little bit and come someplace safe. I know that a lot of places are open, but it's still kind of dicey whether or not that's a good idea right now. Like, we were told a lot of people are going camping already and stuff, and I'm like, I guess because you're outside, it's kind of better than having a party, but I'm still just like, I don't know yet. I wanna wait until I know whether or not there's gonna be a second wave, and all my doctor friends are saying there'll be a second wave. But being that there's a lot of negativity in the world right now, and understandably so, like, I completely understand, and so do you, why people are upset with things like the cops right now. All of that is not okay. I've already spoken out about that on this channel. You know how I feel about it, and if you're on my Twitter, you really know how I feel about it. And as far as, you know, COVID and stuff, it's terrible. I mean, the nation's just kind of split in half on everything right now. It's messy. And then YouTube isn't helping with it being like, I'm mad at the world, so I'm just going to be mad at every single influencer. Some of them deserve it. Right now, some of them absolutely deserve it, but other ones, it's like, okay, can we just calm down? If someone, like, makes an obnoxious gallows humor joke or something, you don't need to freak out and cancel them. But we decided to go ahead and try to do something a little bit more positive today so that you have something just kind of fun to look at. And sorry if the color keeps switching up or the lighting. We're outside filming on my phone instead of the camera. But I brought a few of my decks with me, and I thought it might be kind of fun to have a reading. You've kind of encouraged me before to take my decks to Comic-Cons and do readings for people. And we always have people come to the table and they are interested in it, but they're too scared to have me read, and it's not for the reasons you think. It's not the usual, like, oh, decks are bad kind of thing, because, like, obviously it's a piece of cardboard. It's not going to hurt you. It's more that they're afraid to hear anything negative that could happen. I'm like, well, one, the chances of you getting a fully negative reading are pretty slim unless you're, like, an absolute piece of crap. And two, it's actually something you should embrace. You should be willing to look at the negative side of things, because if you don't look at what's going wrong in your life, you'll never know how to move forward. So I try to encourage those people to think about it and return to the table, because I really think it's a good idea. So I've got my oldest Oracle deck, which is the Eyes Through the Art of the Soul or something like that. It's really rubbed off, but I'll put in the description what it is. But it's very, very pretty deck. I think this is your favorite for art, right? And that one I use most of the time in people's readings. Even if I'm doing a tarot reading, I'll pull out that Oracle because it has really, really sound, easy to understand advice. I've got I think this one is called Wisdom from the Hidden Realms Oracle, which I think I've used before on this channel, probably a while ago. And this one is really special to us because before I just used it, but then your dad likes to talk through this one. This is like his favorite one. And I think this is why. Every time he wants to talk to her, this gets pulled out. No matter how much I've shuffled, he still manages to do it. And then I have two brand new decks because you gave me a little Visa card for my birthday to use on whatever I wanted, so I got two new decks. This one is a dragon oracle, which is really cool because I've talked a little bit about the draconic path, and that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about, where, you know, dragons are willing to tell you the negative side of things and make you face the dark side of yourself, and that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is really special to me, the Wildwood Tarot. This deck has been following me since 2010 at least. This is a difficult deck to find, at least in all of the areas that I have lived in. It's not an easy one to find. When you do find it online, it's usually pretty expensive, like $40-50 at least. And I still managed to always find it, and I was just like, you know, it's cool, but I don't know if it's time yet. And then finally it was here. Only one edition of it was there when we went to the store, so I was like, okay, I'm getting it this time. So I am very new to reading the deck. I know of the deck, but I haven't read it in a long time, so you'll have to bear with. So let's just see what the cards themselves want to tell us. Do you have any questions for like the world itself, or people online, anyone who's struggling or anything? Who should we read for? That is a cute tiny bird over there. We'll read for the tiny bird.
How long do you have to live, little bird?
Oh no! That one I'm scared to ask. Should we just see like general state of the world, let people have a little bit of hope, maybe?
Sure.
Nothing
Why
too
don't we
intense.
do that, or let's just say we're working on the graphic novel. Why don't we do...
You want a
success.
personal one? Okay,
Yes.
so do
Why don't we
success
do,
for
like,
everyone.
a success for projects that we're working on. Like, how are they going to do it? Let's do that.
Alright, so we'll do a general success reading for anyone who has anything going on. This can be an art project, this can be school, this can be work, this can just be in your personal life. Are you going to be successful in your relationships, your friendships, any kind of success reading. So what I like to do is pull out 1 to 3 of each. We'll do 3 since this is a little bit more in depth. Actually, why don't you pick them out?
Okay.
Put those back in. You don't have to get them from the very top. You can just pull them out of wherever you want.
How many should I pick?
Whatever feels right. 1 to 3 is probably going to be good because we have a lot of cards to get through.
This one seems calling me.
Good.
Do. That one.
Do you want any more?
And one more.
Okay, that is fine.
See. Let's do...
And what she's doing is always completely acceptable. If you are doing a reading for yourself or someone else and you go into it intending to just pull, you know, 1 card, but then 2 of them end up calling you, listen to that call. Just pull it out anyway. There's a reason it's calling out to you. So those guys will go here until we're ready to flip them. Now your daddy deck.
Yep.
I swear, if he does it again. Alright, same thing, just however many end up calling out. That one.
I'll do 4 for each, I guess.
Alright, it doesn't matter how many you do for each, I mean...
Just to keep it
Yeah, that's fine.
relatively the same. Okay.
I hope everyone's enjoying, like, those nice bird songs in the back and stuff. It's kind of nice.
It's so pretty here.
Yeah, it's really peaceful right now. These ones are a little bit sticky because they're brand new. So you'll have to work them a little bit. The one on top here.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a
Yeah, like I said, they're a little bit
Right
sticky
here.
because they're glossy and they're brand new. The other ones have been well loved so far.
that one. Let's do this one. And this one.
Okay. And that was the dragon, and now we just have Wildwood. Like I said, when I'm reading Wildwood, you'll have to bear with and give me a second to read through it because I'm very, very new to reading that deck. But I'm usually pretty good with the images and listening to what everything has to say to me. Go ahead and dig if you gotta.
That one doesn't seem as sticky.
Yeah, the dragon deck has a lot of gloss on the cards, so they're a little bit strange to pull apart.
Let's do this one. All right.
Okay, so we've got all of our cards pulled. So let me get the rest of the decks a little bit out of the way. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought there were only 3 of that for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
It's always there.
Of course, there. What did I just say?
Always, no matter where it is.
He's so funny. Well, apparently your dad wants to help with this reading.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read them in the order that she drew the cards out. So we are starting with the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle.
This is the realms.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. So the first card we have is Starseed Children. If you want to know in depth about Starseed Children, you need to look up Witch Guinevere on YouTube. She talks at length about them, and it's so interesting. And it says, have hope for the future, new energies are coming in, which is awesome. And that actually, I think, has a great deal to do with everything that's going on in our socio-political climate right now, because it's true, new energies are coming in. Our generation, like where are they, Z under us? Gen Z and millennials are sick and tired of the way that the world works right now. We're dismantling everything that we see that is wrong, everything we see that is holding people back who don't deserve to be held back, and we're saying we're over it, we're taking it apart, and then the generations under them are helping us to, rebuild and stuff and try to make the world a better place. So if you're starting to feel a little bit hopeless because people aren't being quite as loud online, just remember, new energies are coming in. Things are going to get better. Maybe not right this minute, maybe not even next month, maybe not even in our lifetime, hopefully in our lifetime, but they are going to get better. People more and more every day are getting more educated on everything that has gone on throughout American history and even world history, and we are trying our best to make it a better place to live. Next we have Seek the Guide with Noble Ideals. So this can go both for people that are involved in things like the protests right now for Black Lives Matter movement, people who are calling out people who have been legitimately and purposefully hurting people on YouTube.
I was gonna yawn, but I tried to
It's okay.
Okay.
So it can be something really specific like that, but it can also just be people in your own life. Maybe an authority figure that you really care about, that you get advice from, like a father, a mother, a grandparent, a friend. And what it's telling you is, if you're kind of on the right track right now, but you're not entirely sure which direction to take next, go seek out someone you know is a little bit wiser than you are. And that's not to say that, you don't know what you're doing at all or anything. It's just that, we're all on different life paths right now. This person that you're seeking out is better equipped to help tell you which way to go than you might be. So don't be afraid to ask for help. You are cherished and protected. This is another one that can have multiple different meanings to it. This can mean someone in your life right now is cherishing and protecting you. Somebody that you know and care about, maybe a partner, maybe a sibling or a parent. It can also mean that somebody, in the spirit world loves and cherishes and protects you. So if you're someone who is spiritual, regardless of what religious background you come from, if you're having a really hard time and you're struggling with the way things are going right now, go ahead and seek out that spirit guide and ask them for help. Again, no shame in asking for help. Ask the people in your life who you know cherish and love you to be there for you right now, to help you through these difficult moments, and to help you understand where you should go next in your life. And It can also be, stronger figures, people who are like, celebrities or political figures who are on your side of different issues. Seek them out. Try to get them to be louder about everything that's going on. Write them letters if you have to. If you know they're on your side, go for them. And that kind of goes along with the next card, which is Be Courageous, Truth Conquers All. There are so many things people are learning now that were deliberately kept from us, whether it's in the YouTube sphere, whether it's with Black Lives Matter, whether it's with LGBTQIA rights. So much is coming to light these days that was deliberately kept from us until the online era. But with the internet, you can't keep secrets anymore. You might be able to keep the truth from people for a certain amount of time, but eventually someone is going to spill the beans. And that's what's been going on a lot lately. People are becoming more educated about different issues. They're starting to learn where their loyalty should lie. And be strong. I know it's scary to come out with the truth against somebody and to say this person is bad or this group of people are bad, but keep your voice strong. People will back you up. Now we're going to the next one, which is
The Hidden Realms.
Yeah, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck. And we have the Eyes of Beauty, Positive Expectations, and Clarity. So it's kind of interesting. I was actually just talking to someone today about clarity and how clear quartz can help you in your daily life when you're looking for clarity. So this again goes right along with the last deck and everything it was saying about, trying to make sure that you have a clear, concise direction as to what you want to do to help yourself, to help others, to help the world itself become a better place, and make sure you have positive expectations. You won't be able to have perfect clarity or even near perfect clarity if you don't have positive expectations. You need to believe that what you want is going to manifest in order for it to manifest. It can't just become from nothing. I have an itch, so I'm going to cut that. Do you need a drink or anything? Okay. Next, we have the Phoenix, which of course is resurrection and surrender to change. This is a very positive card and a card that we're very familiar with. And it's interesting that it came when we're talking about everything going on in the world right now. Because resurrection, everyone is rising up. The Black Lives Matter movement and just Black people in general, especially in the United States, but across many countries in the world, have been beaten down and treated like they're lesser than and like they're not good enough to be in this world. Same thing with different people online. A lot of people, individuals, have been treated like, oh, well, I'm just going to use you as my scapegoat, or I'm going to hold information over you and blackmail you, and none of that is okay. People are starting to rise up from that. They're starting to realize they don't deserve to be treated the way that they've been treated anymore, and they're not going to stand for it anymore. And surrendering to change, that is all of us embracing the fact that everyone in the world needs to do better, that we're willing to start doing better, and it can also work for the opposing side. Whether they want to or not, they're going to have to embrace and surrender to change soon, because it is coming. It's indisputable. They can argue all they want, but it's coming. This one is one that I tend to get a lot for myself, the Spiral Dancer, Circuitous Route, and Perception. So Circuitous Route basically means things that just keep going in a circle. That part of this card essentially means that, again, whether you're in the YouTube drama right now, whether you're talking about Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA rights, or your own personal life, it feels like no matter how hard you've tried, no matter what you've done to try to make things better for yourself or for others or for both, it feels like you're just in this endless loop, this endless spiral of negativity, and you just can't seem to pull yourself out, and you're just like, what do I have to do at this point? I've tried everything. How, at this point in time, can I do any better? But it's all about your perception. Think about it. Are you really just spiraling? Are you really just going in a circle? Are things really not getting any better? Or are you just having a bad day, or a bad month, or a bad year? Are you just having a difficult time that's making it difficult for you to see what's actually in front of your face? It's all about your perception of things. you're allowed to have those moments where you're upset or you feel like nothing is changing or nothing's getting better. That is just part of being human, and it's okay. But just remember, take a breath, stop for a minute, and really consider, is it actually getting better? Because chances are something actually is. You like this one, huh?
What?
Do you like this one?
I think I got in that one.
Yeah, the Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. This is extremely important, especially for people who are allies of anyone who has been treated poorly online or in real life, or the Black Lives Matter movement, LGBTQIA, all of it. It's important because we need to do our own inner self-reflection. I know it's hard sometimes when you are the one being told that you need to change, that you need to be educated, that you are part of the problem, or that, you are someone who's grown up learning systematic racism and stuff. It's not fun to have people call you out. I understand that. Everyone understands that. But if you want to make positive change, you need to reflect on everything that people have told you in your life that is completely wrong and completely harmful. You need to dismantle that in your brain, and you need to end the judgment of other people instead of just being like, well, that person just told me that all this stuff that I learned is bad, and that, I am, accidentally, I'm trying to think of the word, accidentally partaking in racist behavior or homophobic behavior or transphobic behavior or something. Don't try to argue with them and be like, but we wouldn't do that if you didn't this and that. I've seen a lot of that happening. Non-judgment. Understand that if someone is reacting to these things in a way you wouldn't do yourself, understand that means you have some variety of privilege, and you should count yourself lucky you don't have to scream for your rights. So now to Wildwood. The first thing we got was the sun of life. So what I'm seeing is the entire sky is engulfed in flame from the sun. There is a lot of greenery growing as this man has the sun basically come out of his heart. So the way I see that is much like the phoenix, that he's basically having to be reborn, and that's the only thing that's bringing about positive change, which is the new life growing beneath him. So letting go of old, maybe problematic ideals and instead embracing new positive things. That one's interesting. The Hooded Man is the next one that I got. This one's like completely different looking than the last one. It's a man that's all cloaked in black, it looks like, holding a stick and a lantern. It looks like it's wintertime, and even though he looks a little scary and menacing at first, he's just looking down at this cute little bird, so he's not that bad compared to how he might look. So how would you perceive that? No idea.
Death.
No. Just death.
No. Just, honestly, just maybe it's like a sign. Like the bird is like looking at, oh, there could be like change coming. This could be like a light that could be...
So you're seeing it almost like the tarot death card, where everyone's like, oh no, I got the death card, but all it means is change is coming.
Yeah, because maybe it's like a second chance.
That I actually can see a lot in this one. That's one that I want to check because I'm interested to see how close we are. So the book says the Hooded Man means after the trials and tribulations of dealing with the primal forces that confront you on the wheel of the year, a space is needed for stillness and contemplation. For the spiritual warrior or seeker looking for esoteric knowledge, the complex matrix of symbolism and insight may confuse the intellect and shake the reality. The Hooded Man, also known as the Hermit or sometimes Robin in the Hood, the deeper archetype of the outlaw of Sherwood Forest, offers a steadfast light in the midwinter world and a steady staff on which to lean and gather your mental resources. His shining lamp illuminates the darkest recesses of the fear and incomprehension and guides the way to a doorway that leads into the heart of the great tree. He knows that knowledge is light and is sometimes only earned with sacrifice and stoicism. Such things offer admittance to the great mystery of the woodland and show the seekers how they may find the wisdom to advance through the wilder reaches of the forest. The great tree itself is one of the most powerful symbols of the forest. Within its ancient heart lie locked countless secrets and the profoundest treasures of wisdom. So you were actually pretty close. It definitely pertains to great change, and what that was basically saying is that he knows that you have to make sacrifices in order to move forward in any capacity. So, yeah, you were close. It's the Hermit more than Death, but you were really close.
I'm surprised I got that.
Alright. So the next one we got was the Moon on Water. This one definitely took a minute to look at and understand, and that's okay. It's always okay if it takes you an extra minute to really gather your thoughts about it. And now that I've kind of like looked into the book and looked into the picture a little bit further, it makes a little more sense. There is a bull, I believe a heron, a bunch of birds at night under the light of the moon. Primordial egg is in the water, and almost the entire image on this card is just the still water with nobody really knowing what direction to go, because the birds are flying one direction, the bull's pointing in another direction. No one really seems to know what they're doing or where they're going, which is kind of what this card represents, just chaos and not really knowing what it is you're supposed to be doing. But when those moments come and you start feeling a little bit overwhelmed, just take a step back and realize light of some kind is guiding your way, whether it's the actual moon, whether it is, you know, the light from a person in your life or an animal. Something is there to help guide you.
So if you hear tapping on the roof, it's usually acorns because it's a tin roof pavilion. And
or a monster's just coming to kill us.
That too. And if you see me looking around, or us look around, there's hiking back here, and there's cars that come through, and I want to make sure that they don't like interrupt.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I'm just.
That's the beauty of editing, so.
Yeah, that's why I keep looking around.
I love the fact that, like, as you look into the camera, there's just, like, hint of mullet and nothing else coming from your shirt.
That happens with all my shirts.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can see Bowie.
Okay.
There.
So next we have King of Bows, the adder. An adder, for anyone who doesn't know, is a snake. There's actually multiple intertwining snakes on it who are slowly but surely climbing to the top of this cliffside. So what that is telling you is that you are the leader. There's great strength in the leadership that either you are possessing right now or the person you're following is possessing, and they are getting you someplace good. So now we come to the last deck, which is the Dragon Oracle. Another new one for me, which is going to be really interesting. The art's super cute on them. And these ones are written in a slightly different way than most of my oracle cards have been. Usually on an oracle card you get something like these ones where you have kind of just a few words and an image and you can interpret it almost any way that, you know, makes sense to you. The Dragon Oracle seems to have a lot more clear direction to it.
This looks like it's for beginners.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because most people don't even realize that draconic witchcraft or paganism exists to begin with, so most people coming into it will be beginners. So the first one we have is Dusky Pink Dragon, and she's adorable. From Andromeda, prepare all your chakras to embody higher love. Accept and radiate higher love. Touch others with its flame. Pretty much a given. You can completely understand very easily what that means. She's telling you that in this time, this uncertain time where everyone seems to just want to tear each other down and make each other feel small, instead just give out love to people, make them feel loved, make them feel safe and happy with you, be that loving light that everyone needs right now. Hopefully this video is kind of one of those lights. Next, he's so cute. I love this deck. Next is Source Dragon, attunes you to the infinite. Be still. In the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment. So, as important as it is to reflect on our pasts and learn from the mistakes we've made before, and as important as it is to move forward and see the positivity in the future to come, it's also equally important to make sure that we're living in the present moment. Nothing matters more right now than right now. So he's just telling you that you can calm your mind by just stopping for a second and living in the moment that you're in. Right now, I'm in the present. All I'm thinking about, all I'm concerned with right now is completing this reading. All I care about is that I'm out in the forest and I'm enjoying all the sounds and smells of nature. That's all I need to be thinking about right now. And sometimes if you're getting overwhelmed by everything going on in the world right now, do that. Just go outside or into your room or whatever place you feel safe and just live in that present moment. Next we have the Earth Dragon. Clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. So what he's saying is he wants to help guide you. If right now you're feeling really stuck, again, because of either personal things or the things going on in the world, and you just don't know where to go from here, he's helping you to clear your path. Now, the dragon can't do all the work for you, although earth dragons are very helpful if draconic witchcraft is something that you're looking into learning more about. You can either look at some of my videos on it, or you can look into Azure Dragonfeather. She does nothing but draconic witchcraft. Earth dragons are very helpful creatures, but they don't just give you things. There's always a contingency. They want to help you learn to remove those blockages yourself. So don't just say, Earth Dragon, I want you to remove all these things that are in my way of happiness right now. Instead, say, what do I need to do to clear the path for myself and make my life and the lives of those around me a little bit better? And do some soulful reflection. Try to figure out for yourself what those answers are. Our very last card for today is Golden Solar Dragon. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. So in witchcraft, I've talked about this before on my channel, and any witch will tell you everything needs to exist in balance. So everyone has divine masculine and divine feminine energies, and depending on what it is that you need at this time, it's good to try to tap into one or the other sometimes. And this masculine power and wisdom is supposed to be helping you become a little bit more inspired, a little bit more of a leader yourself. Even if you're not normally someone who's interested in a leader position, you don't have to necessarily be like leading a protest right now, or, you know, standing up and shouting from the rooftops. All that means is go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, any social media, go on any platform you have. Go to your city hall and be a voice for the voiceless. You don't have to be in front of a huge crowd if that's something that makes you uncomfortable, but maybe post something and try to inform people of something that you think that they're understanding incorrectly. Try to help educate people on things that are going wrong right now, and also educate them on how you can make things go a little more right. So that was the reading for today. I hope that that was a nice positive video for everyone and you feel a little bit better about the path forward, and that this gave you something nice to watch. Everything's been so negative lately, so hopefully this was just a nice time for everyone. And just for a little bit of extra positivity, we will, take my phone around this little foresty area for a second so you can just see something pretty.
Yeah.
But, as always, until the next video, everybody needs to do something that makes them happy, no matter what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about that, and we will see you again later.
Bye, everybody.